Hey everyone, welcome back to Arrow Traditions. I'm going to be going over another product today. I got a hold of Pine Ridge Archery. They had a new item that came out at ATA. I saw it a little bit on some of the stuff from when that took place in January. And what really caught my eye from kind of the products I seen coming out at ATA was the C-YA Debonder. And so essentially it is some sort of alcohol base that once you soak your fletchings and your wraps in this, takes about 45 minutes. It literally should just pull straight off. From some of the videos I saw that Pine Ridge has already done, looks like it's very simple. So I'm going to try and get as many arrows as I can into the bottle. The nice thing is it's not like a one-time use. You can use this over and over again and should last a very long time. So I got a hold of them at Pine Ridge, said, hey, I'm looking to make a video on this. They ended up sending me a jug of it. Retails for $49.99 online, and essentially should be able to do as many arrows, fletchings, wraps for many years to come. So I maybe do a dozen to 2 dozen arrows a year that I will fletch, wrap, rewrap, those types of things. A lot of times I'll do that every couple of years. And so they were nice enough to also send me some arrow wraps. So I've been shooting a pink wrap as well as fletchings for several years. For me, the pink just seems to stick out in flight as well. It's been easier to find them after I've shot them. They also sent some of their fletching glue, so I'm going to give that a shot. It's supposed to be instant dry. Shouldn't take very long when I'm fletching those. And another company that I just placed an order from is Flex Fletch. So they did a big study last year at Easton, and Flex Fletch vanes actually came out on top. I've been shooting boning blazers for as long as I've been shooting archery, essentially. I've never really shot a different vane outside of the blazers, so I'm going to give these a shot. They're a 3.5-inch vane, a lot smaller profile, but they're supposed to be very quiet and still stabilize broadhead very well. I still am shooting the Grim Reaper Hades Pros as far as the fixed blades, and so I'm doing a green and a pink on top of a pink wrap when I'm done, and I'm going to try and get about a dozen done. I've got some more wraps on order, and we'll do the rest. I've got 14 arrows right now. I've got to order some more from Easton. I'm still shooting the Axis 5mm match grades. Been a really good arrow. I've been shooting these for the last probably 3 years. Been really impressed with them. Very high quality arrow. Had good luck with them. They hardly ever break. You hit something hard enough with it, obviously that might do it, but as well as using some of the Easton components like the collars and some of those things. But I'll kind of show you. I've already uninstalled all my broadheads, all of my field points, as well as my nocks. So it's very, very simple. There's not much to this. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. You just soak it in the bottle and come back in an hour, and it should peel off. Once you get the wrap and the vanes off, you simply use a paper towel and water. And then likely before I fletch, I'll soak mine or wipe them down in acetone just to get any other debris or oils or anything else off of there. I simply use, I think I've got some here, nail polish remover, just pure acetone. I do that before I do a lot of components for cleaning arrows. It does a good job after you cut, cleaning the carbon up. But this is simply going to be the C-YA Debonder. Yeah, I'll kind of bring you up here, show you what this stuff is. Extremely flammable from everything I've saw about it. Keep flames away from it. But it doesn't look like it is too harmful. I probably will wear gloves after doing the removal in that. Not going to worry about it right now, but it says on here, soak it for 40 to 60 minutes, remove arrows, wipe any residue with paper towel. If there's any stubborn glue remains, return into the solution, and then when complete, just rinse with water and dry before fletching. So works on carbon, aluminum, and wood arrow shafts. So should be interesting from what I saw at ATA. I think it's going to be really fantastic. I used to, anytime I would switch out my wraps, my vanes and that, I used the boning vane remover with the blades, And so I was constantly scraping, constantly trying to get glue off. I'm going to see if this is going to be a little faster process. So it says you should be able to do about a dozen arrows. I'm going to put them in one at a time. I'll see how many I can fit in there. I do have a 7-inch wrap, so the bottle is right at about 7 inches tall, so I'm not sure it'll get all of it, but we'll see how it does. And so we'll get those going. I'll pull you up here a little bit closer though. Okay, so this is the C-YA Debonder. Have not opened this yet, so we'll get that going. I'm assuming there's going to be a pretty good alcohol smell to it, would be my guess. But it says to use in a ventilated area or in an area that you're not in as much. Likely not in a house, probably not the best place, but we'll get it going here. Again, once I'm done, I will go inside, use soap and water just to clean my hands and stuff. But we'll start putting them in one at a time, see how many we can fit. Yeah, it's not quite going to cover this whole vane. Again, here's an arrow, just the vanes. So I'll use that one, see how that compares to a wrapped arrow compared to one without. And again, just remember, remove your nocks. You don't have to probably do your broadheads and that, but rather than messing with them, I just removed it all. So I'll likely have to do this maybe 2-3 times, depending on how many arrows I can get in here. These are obviously a smaller diameter arrow in the 5mm. So I imagine, you know, a standard shaft, it's gonna maybe not fit as many, but it's fitting them in there pretty good. Don't know that I'm going to get this one in there. See if I can get it. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got 10 in there right now. So it says just to leave this for 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to give it a full hour, especially with the tall wrap in there, and then come back after that, show you what that looks like after I have that all done, and we'll see how it turns out. And I'm not smelling anything right now, but I don't know if you can see, I just stuck wraps, vanes, everything all in there at once. And it looks like that fluid's like right up to the top, which is what I need to help get that 7-inch wrap off. And we'll see how it goes. So come back in an hour after this is done and see how well this comes off, how well it cleans with just a paper towel and water. But really excited to see this stuff work. I was pretty impressed with it, so it should be a good turnout. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so it's been right about an hour. I ended up stopping my timer there, but just shy of an hour. So we're going to go ahead, start pulling these out. Again, paper towel, bottle of water, that should really be all you need to clean these up. I do have a trash can I'm going to put right in front here, and we'll just start and see how it goes and see how they come off. So I already can tell one vane completely came off. You're supposed to basically be able to just undo the wrap, which is looking pretty sure that's going to be the case. Perfect. Good. I'm going to have a little bit of residue, I think, at the top here, but I think that'll just wipe off easy enough. No damage to the arrow. The glue wants to come off. Paper towel here. So yeah, it's actually much easier, I will say, than scraping them. That came off very easy. A little bit of residue left, but not bad. Kind of get some of this off of there, and I'm guessing I'm going to try and just do acetone with a paper towel and try and get the rest of this, but that is way night and day difference from using the razor blade and scraping them off. And actually I'll kind of show you the difference there. I'm going to scrape one off. So this is just the boning vane remover. So typically, to see the difference, this works good. I think not too bad, but one thing you got to be careful of is trying not to dig into the carbon too much. Sometimes that can happen to where you're going to nick some of that carbon. Absolutely is not going to happen with the other stuff. So as you can see, this takes a bit longer, and this one I'm just going to probably put in the mix once I get this other arrows out. But this is typically how I used to do this, and works good. Just not quite as efficient. You know, this is one arrow that I'm doing, and I've got 10 that have been in that solution. And like I said, this works, but if you think about it, I'm going to have to do this 10 different times on those. And so I'm not going to do this whole one just to save some time, but definitely is going to take me longer to get all that cleaned off of there. So still have that as a tool I can use, but this by far, as you saw when I pulled that out, there was actually a vane that came off. But you know, these arrow wraps stay together really well, and just this little bit of liquid, and I mean, it is peeling off like nothing. That makes life a lot easier. I did figure at the end here, as long as these wraps are, I wasn't sure how this would end up working, but I mean, a little bit of paper towel and that stuff is coming off. So working as it was advertised. Pretty impressed. Gotta say, it's making life a lot easier. And really, if I wanted to, I could come back with my blade on this just to kind of finish some of this up. But so do a combination of them both if you needed to. But like I said, realistically, I'm going to take my acetone and probably just clean these off. So yeah, I can see vein coming off that one already. So at the end, I'll probably have to strain this, but just so you get a look at it up close, literally just peels off from where I put that wrap on. And these are good, very good arrow wraps from boning that I put on. I've always really liked those, but I mean, that one right there is essentially completely clean. Not going to need much for that one. So pretty impressive. Again, C-YA Debonder from Pine Ridge Archery. Really good stuff. I can't, I guess at this point, say that I can be more impressed. It's pretty dang nice. There's still a little bit of residue, so it says if there's a little bit left, you just dip them back in. So I'm going to do these and probably do that. Just soak them a little longer, and before I even do the acetone. But again, these things are literally falling off. A little bit of pulling, nothing too crazy. A little bit of residual from the wrap left on, but nothing too crazy. I mean, it is literally the whole wrap coming off. As you can see, why you want to maybe use some water and paper towel. That paper towel did stick to that. So, but we'll go right back in and get these cleaned up a little bit longer. So get this one off, and then we'll finish up here. So again, I fit 10 arrows in there. I really couldn't fit any more. But you can basically reuse this stuff over and over as many times as you want. Highly recommend it. Again, $49.99 retail from Pine Ridge Archery. I'm sure it'll start showing up in some archery shops. But once I get done with that, I'm gonna rewrap those, refletch those. Again, I am gonna end up using the Flex Fletch this year. I'm excited to see how that goes. With a good tuned bow, it should be able to shoot out just anything, but looking to get my arrows a little bit quieter. It's supposed to stabilize broadheads really well, so we'll see how that goes. And so yeah, check them out. Pine Ridge Archery. Highly suggest getting this if you are fletching, refletching a bunch of arrows. It's hard to say how much time this is saving. I've already gone through 5, and won't take me long to get through the rest of these. So thanks for following along, guys. Again, at Arrow Traditions. You can find me Facebook, Instagram, obviously YouTube channel here. Check out the other videos I've got. If you have questions about this stuff, I'll see what I can do to answer those. If I don't have the answer, obviously I will check in with Pine Ridge Archery, and if there's anything that comes up that you guys have questions on, I'll probably reach out to them to get the good factual information right from the company. But yeah, super good stuff, and check them out. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, so I kind of just wanted to show the finished product. I did end up having to take some acetone to it, but I would have done that anyway just to get the shafts back to kind of the normal clean before I do fletching anyway. So there's 10. It took me outside of the wait time. That's kind of the biggest lag in that. But as you can see, most likely because I used the pink wraps, there is some fletchings in the bottom there, so I'm going to probably take this, strain it out of a bowl, make sure I get those out of there, and get it ready for the next batch. So I've got a few more I need to do. The nice thing is if I end up picking up like factory fletched arrows, I can just dip those really quick, you know, let them sit for an hour, and rather than having to use a tool, scratch them off. You don't have to worry about scratching your carbon up with the razors, anything like that. And then now these are ready to be rewrapped. I'll probably give them another touch of acetone before I end up refletching those. Always like to do that just because of oils like this with hands, stuff like that. Keeps them clean, but they'll be ready to go. And I'll probably have some other videos as I build my arrows for this year. Again, got some more wraps from Pine Ridge. They're fletching blue, and as I talked about earlier, Fletch Flex, I'll be putting those together on there. But got 10 arrows ready to go. Didn't take long at all once the wait time waited for the stuff to kick in, and ready to go for the next batch. So yeah, check them out again. Pine Ridge Archery, C-YA Debonder, awesome stuff. I'm very impressed with it. So, all right, thanks again.